Right now, you're operating from one of two psychological states, predator or prey, and if you're watching this video, there's a good chance you've been living as prey your entire life without even knowing it. Here's the brutal truth. Prey animals don't choose to be prey, they're born that way. But humans? We choose. Every single day in every interaction, you're either claiming your power or giving it away. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you the psychological research that proves victim mentality is a learned behavior, which means you can unlearn it. I'll reveal the exact brain differences between people who act like predators versus prey, and I'll give you the step-by-step method used by psychologists to transform someone from powerless to unstoppable. By the end of this video, you'll never see yourself, or the world, the same way again. Let's dive in. Let's start with something uncomfortable. In nature, there are only two roles, predator and prey. Predators have eyes in the front of their heads, for focus, for tracking, for hunting. Prey animals have eyes on the sides of their heads, for scanning, for detecting threats, for running away. Now here's where it gets disturbing. Humans have predator eyes. We're biologically designed to be at the top of the food chain. So why do so many of us behave like prey? The answer lies in something psychologists call victim sensitivity, or victim mentality, and according to research published in Frontiers in Psychology, this isn't just a mindset, it's a self-reinforcing psychological trap that gets stronger over time. Here's how it works. When you experience a negative event, maybe someone takes advantage of you or you fail at something important, your brain creates what researchers call a victim self-concept. You start seeing yourself as easy prey, as someone who attracts bullies. And here's the kicker, once that self-concept forms, you start behaving in ways that actually make it come true. You develop what the research calls a suspicious mindset. You're constantly scanning for threats, expecting to be exploited, which makes you behave defensively. And predatory people, they can smell it. Studies show that individuals with victim sensitivity are less likely to cooperate in social situations because they're always protecting themselves from perceived threats. So, what's the actual difference in the brain between someone with a predator mindset versus a prey mindset? It all comes down to something called locus of control, and this concept is going to change your life. Locus of control was discovered by psychologist Julian Rotter in 1954, and it's one of the most researched concepts in psychology. Here's what it means. People with an internal locus of control believe their actions determine their outcomes. They're predators. They hunt. They strategize. They take responsibility. People with an external locus of control believe external forces, luck, other people, circumstances, determine their outcomes. They're prey. They react. They avoid. They blame. Versus confident, predator, with thought captions. And here's the research that'll blow your mind. Studies show that people with internal locus of control, the predator mindset, have better mental health, higher achievement, more success in careers, better physical health, and even live longer. They're more proactive about solving problems. They take action instead of waiting for rescue. They're less conforming and less obedient to authority that doesn't serve them. But people with external locus of control, they're stuck in what researchers call learned helplessness. They literally stop trying to change their circumstances because they don't believe anything they do will make a difference. They're prey waiting for the predator to strike. So what does a predator mindset actually look like in human form? Let me break down the 7 characteristics that separate predators from prey in the human world. Predators don't wait for things to happen, they make things happen. Research shows that people with internal locus of control are significantly more likely to take proactive steps to improve their circumstances. They don't complain about problems, they strategize solutions. Predators own their outcomes. When they fail, they ask, "What did I do wrong?" Not, "Who screwed me over?" This isn't about self-blame, it's about self-power. If you caused the problem, you have the power to fix it. Predators say what they mean. They don't hint, manipulate, or play passive-aggressive games. Prey animals use indirect communication because they're afraid of confrontation. Predators aren't afraid, they're clear. Here's a big one. Predators understand that conflict is necessary for growth. Prey animals avoid all conflict. But research shows that people who are conflict avoidant end up with worse outcomes in relationships, careers, and mental health. Sometimes you have to bare your teeth. Predators calculate risks and take them. Prey animals play it safe. But here's what research proves. Risk avoidance doesn't keep you safe. It keeps you stuck. People with external locus of control avoid taking action because they believe effort won't matter. Predators know that doing nothing is the biggest risk of all. Predators focus on results. Prey focus on fairness. It's not fair that I have to work harder. It's not fair that person has more advantages. Predators don't care about fair. They care about effective. They adapt to reality instead of complaining about it. Predators don't wait for someone to save them. They save themselves. This doesn't mean you can't ask for help. It means you don't depend on it. Prey mentality is waiting for rescue. Predator mentality is rescuing yourself while being smart enough to accept assistance. Okay, so you've recognized you've been operating with a prey mentality. Maybe you shrink in meetings. Maybe you avoid difficult conversations. Maybe you blame circumstances for where you are in life. How do you actually change this? First, you need awareness without self-judgment. Psychologists call this metacognition. Thinking about your thinking. Notice when you're behaving like prey, when you apologize unnecessarily, when you make yourself small, when you avoid taking action because it won't matter anyway. Just notice it. Don't shame yourself. You learned this behavior, which means you can unlearn it. This is backed by decades of research. Change how you explain events to yourself. When something bad happens, prey thinking says, "This always happens to me." Global. "I'm just unlucky." Stable. "It's out of my control." External. Predator thinking says, "This happened in this specific situation." Specific. "This is temporary." Unstable. "What actions can I take in bras internal?" Predators are defined by action, not intention. Research on locus of control proves that people shift from external to internal by experiencing the connection between action and outcome. So, start small. Take one action today that a predator would take. Speak up in that meeting. Set that boundary. Apply for that opportunity. Let your brain see that your actions matter. This is huge. Social psychology research shows we become like the 5 people we spend the most time with. If you're surrounded by prey, people who complain, avoid responsibility, and play victim, you'll stay prey. Find predators. People who own their outcomes, who take action, who don't make excuses. Their mindset is contagious. Finally, actively look for and celebrate moments where your actions led to results. This rewires your brain's locus of control. Keep a wins journal. Write down every time you took action and got a result, even small ones. Your brain will start to see the pattern. I act, therefore I create outcomes. Now I need to give you a warning, because this is important. There's a difference between a predator mindset and being a predator in the destructive sense. Psychology research shows that some people weaponize victim mentality to manipulate others. They're actually predators disguised as prey. And on the flip side, you can have a predator mindset without being cruel, exploitative, or harmful. A healthy predator mindset means you take responsibility for your life, you act with purpose, you don't let others control your outcomes. It does not mean you prey on the weak, exploit others, or lack empathy. Real predators in nature kill to survive. Humans with a predator mindset thrive by elevating themselves and others. Don't confuse the two. So here's what it comes down to. Every single day, in every situation, you're making a choice. Are you going to operate like prey, reactive, defensive, blaming, helpless, or are you going to operate like a predator, proactive, responsible, strategic, powerful? The research is crystal clear. Your locus of control determines your entire life trajectory. People with internal locus of control have better careers, relationships, health, and mental well-being. They're not luckier. They're not more talented. They just operate from a different place of power. Here's my challenge for you. For the next 7 days, act like a predator, not a harmful one, a strategic one. Take responsibility for one thing you've been blaming under seance. Take one action you've been avoiding. Speak up in one situation where you'd normally stay silent. Set one boundary you've been scared to set, and watch what happens. Drop a comment right now. Are you prey or predator? Be honest. No judgment. And if this video changed how you see yourself, hit that subscribe button, because next week I'm revealing the psychology of intimidation. Why you feel small around certain people, and how to permanently rewire that response. You don't want to miss it. Remember, you have predator eyes. It's time to start using them. See you in the next one.
Thank you for watching.